Friday morning in Simpsonville, South Carolina, and we're in the book of Genesis looking at some trivia questions. And the first question is, why did God spare Noah? Why did God spare Noah? Out of all the people on the earth, why did he pick him? Second of all, how many of each kind of animal was Noah told to take on the ark? How many of each type of animal was Noah told to take on the ark? Question number 3, how did God flood the earth? How did God flood the earth? And finally, a bonus question, how long did the flood last? How long did the flood last? Well, it's really quite interesting when we think about reading the stories of the Bible and how we think we know all of the answers about all of these questions. I think probably one of the funniest ones that I heard was how many of each type of animal did Moses take on the ark? And of course, Moses is not the one that took the animals on the ark, and everybody's thinking, okay, I got to answer this question. Well, here you are. Here are your answers. Why did God spare Noah? It says very clearly in Genesis chapter 6, verse 9, that Noah was a righteous, blameless, and walked with God. Now, I deliberately left part of that description out because it doesn't just say blameless. It says he was blameless in his time. See, God took into consideration all that was going on around Noah, and compared to everybody else that was around him, he was blameless in his time. I'm glad that God considers all of the pressures and temptations and problems that we each face. It doesn't mean that we should go on sinning. It doesn't mean we should be careless about trying to be righteous. But I'm glad that God realizes that we are human, that we do make mistakes, and that he always promises when we do make those mistakes that he'll forgive us of our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Well, the second question is how many of each kind of animal? And probably many of you said 2, a male and a female. But actually in chapter 7, verse 3, it says he took birds on the ark by sevens. Birds on the ark by sevens. Third question was, how did God flood the earth? And many of you said by rain, 40 days and 40 nights. And that's partially true, but if you look at chapter 7, verse 11, and chapter 8, verse 2, you'll find that the fountains of the deep also burst forth. So the rain didn't just come down, it also came up. Most people miss that when they read the scriptures and think only about the rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Question number 4. How long did the flood last? The answer is 150 days. That's nearly 5 months. And 5 months is a long time, isn't it? Half a year. It's a long time to be cooped up on an ark with all of those animals, with no land in sight anywhere. Well, if you get seasick easily, that would be a terrible, terrible fate. But God is a gracious God, and he said never again by flood. He had brought the punishment that he said he would bring. And God is always faithful. He will reward those that try to stay righteous before him, and he will punish those who reject him and reject his ways. God is a fair and just God, and he measured Noah according to his days, what kinds of temptations and problems were around him. It's important for all of us that are Christians to stay righteous before him and to walk with God. Now remember to pray for your staff as we approach those days when we'll have our services on Sunday. Remember to pray for them every day. I hope that you'll think about how good God is. But he's also a just God, and he'll not leave sin unpunished. So let's all live as righteously as we can in these days, and when we find ourselves in sin, confess our sin quickly and find the forgiveness that only he can bring. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.